What's up, world? Welcome to the Speedy Show, man. Y'all like sports? I like sports. Cool, man. I'm gonna talk about some sports for y'all. Y'all like money? I like money. Bet. We're gonna go win some bets, man. Let's get going, man. Come with me, man. Let's take a trip. Come on.
Let's get it. Check. Woo. I'm about to cash a check. What else? I'm about to smash the bet. I'm whipping from right to left. Check. I'm about to cash a check. What else? I'm feeling like Busta Rhymes. I think I might break your neck. Pay respect. Check. I'm about to cash a check. What else? I'm about to smash the bet. I'm whipping from right to left.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Speedy Show. We're starting episode 2. I got my brother, J Star, right here at BOD Star on Instagram. Special guest today. We're going to be giving y'all a Game 1 recap, Game 2 preview, among a few other things. You know, as I like to do when my guests come on, I'm going to have him take the floor. As you know, we recap Boston's victory in the crazy game from last night. Definitely a finals game. But man, what was you thinking? On our prediction board, you know, you got Boston 4-2. So did you think they was gonna win Game 1?
Man, I thought it was in the air. I really felt like Boston had the talent and just they could do anything. But I was hoping they won Game 1. But in the third quarter, it seemed like Golden State took over the game, and
Control.
Yeah, they was knocking down stuff, man. I'm like, okay, hold on, I might have to rethink this, but I'm like, okay. I took a breath, you know, and then I seen the fourth quarter. It's like Boston, man, they had a good game, but not their best, and they still did. They came and got the lead.
Jaylen Brown saved him. Defense, and Jaylen Brown, I would say.
Yeah,
because at the third quarter, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say they were done, but I was like pretty confident. Okay, Golden State's going to put this game away. Boston, the multiple games in multiple cities and tough series, they finally caught up to them. They're down 15. Golden State went on that third quarter run. It's heading towards the end. But Boston responded, well, mainly Jaylen Brown. They started the fourth quarter and they got it to 5. And then Golden State had to take a timeout. It was a completely different game at that point.
no, 100%. I agree with that. I mean, Curry took over the game, and the first half, he just, you know, he had a good half, and I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know what to I'm like, man, Golden State going to win this. But I just feel like
You can't let Curry go crazy.
you
like
can't.
that.
I mean, he had a couple open shots to where like
Wide open.
To me, he should never have an open three. I don't know how hard that is to not let that happen.
There's a meme on Bleacher Report that is
Man.
like freeze frame of the defense that they played on the 3 where he was wide open. It's no. You wouldn't guard him like that on 2K.
No, I mean, yeah, sometimes he might have an open shot, but he had like what 2 or 3
Wide
yeah,
open.
and you can't.
He actually broke the finals record for most threes in a quarter in the first quarter. Steph knocked down 6 threes. That was a finals record.
That's crazy. And man, look, I'm trying to tell y'all, Boston Celtics, they're gonna win this series in 6. You know. And you know, people say in 7, that's cool. I just know they're gonna win for sure. But my prediction is in 6. Boston Celtics, best defensive team in the league. They offense can come up and be catch on fire. They're all around. I mean, team, and not to say Golden State isn't, but Boston, man, it's something about them. I feel it all up in here. See where this Nike symbol is, y'all? I feel it all up in here. You know what I mean?
I mean, BPI, ESPN's BPI favored them 86% to 14%. That is a big margin. Like that's a large margin for an analytics stat. And then Vegas favored the Warriors. So this, to me, that means like if the numbers can't decide who's gonna win, we're looking at a deep series. I think this was like the most shocking game in finals. I don't want to say in finals history, but I'm gonna say this was the most shocking game one of the NBA Finals since Magic scored 42 points as a rookie, and that was in the 1980 Finals. The Golden State Warriors were outscored by 24 points in the fourth quarter. They were the first team in NBA history to lead by 10 going into the fourth and lose by 10. That's unprecedented numbers. Nobody could predict that. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Nobody could say, oh, if we would have said before the game, hey, Jason Tatum is going to shoot 3 for 17 and he's going to have 12 points. Does Boston win game one in Golden State, in San Francisco? Most people would be like, I have a hard time seeing Boston winning in that scenario.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you can't, I'm going to touch on that, kind of what you said about Golden State and how they, you can't afford for them to, you can't be up like that and your momentum is going and you let a team like Boston come back and get you. I mean, if that can happen, I mean, it's going to be really hard for Golden State Warriors.
Well, yeah, they're going to be in for a long series if they consistently blow 15-point leads. But
I don't think that it's going to happen like that again. But I do know that when you do that on a game you're supposed to win, and you already know it's going to be a tough series, right? So that's the game you should have won. Now you back.
I agree.
Now you like, okay, now you out of a game that you should have had.
Yeah, but I think things like that affect the team with not much experience. I don't think the Warriors are shaken in any way by losing game one. They do realize, I think, that they blew a good opportunity. Mm-hmm. But the game was never over. Yeah. I won't go as to say that they blew the game. They definitely pissed on themselves, though.
Yeah.
I would say.
I mean, in Golden State.
Yeah.
So that would be yellow.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely would say that, but I also at the same time would say there wasn't 1 second that I watched that game last night and I said, okay, Golden State's won this game. I knew Boston was going to have their run. The basketball is a game of runs.
And just so y'all know, me and this gentleman here, we got 30 cases on this of Mountain Dew. And he don't want to go 35 because I'm saying, I didn't want to get into controversy. But the Boston Celtics, I'm a 2011, I'm a Maverick fan. And we won in 2011. I got that feeling, that same feeling I had in 2011 is the same feeling I got right now. And that's why I'm rocking with him. With so many cases on the line. So, I mean...
Y'all know how there's that guy at the casino and he didn't hit a little bit on the slot machine. Mm-hmm. Now he felt like he won the lottery. Like they tough when they up. Mm-hmm. They tough when they up. I don't really like to increase cases mid bet. Mm-hmm. I told him when Golden State's up 2-1, like I think is possible, we'll re-talk case uppage.
Okay, yeah, we'll re-talk cases. Now we just make up. Because, look, this is the thing. Boston Celtics, they're the number one, Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year. We got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown that can go both ends of the floor. I mean, they're sound on both sides of the floor. Not to say the Golden State players ain't, but Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown is special. They're special. They should have had it. Jason Tatum's rookie year. They should have had it. This is their time right here. This is their time right here.
For those who don't know, Jason Tatum's rookie season was the year that Boston blew the 3-2 lead to Cleveland. Yeah. It was the fourth year that Golden State and Cleveland went in the finals. But I don't think Boston definitely kind of let that slip away, but they weren't supposed to win. They just happened to get up 3-2. So everybody was like, oh, Boston, they should close. But I wouldn't go as far to say that they should have won that series. But we're speaking to like Tatum's championship pedigree. Yeah. Tatum's built for the moment. It's not like Boston's completely inexperienced. I think even myself fell a little bit victim to that narrative because Boston actually is a battle-tested team. We kind of let the media outlets fool us with that 0 games played in the final stat. I definitely could say, but that does matter. Trust me, finals games and that experience as opposed to deep playoff run experience is different. But I would agree. Jason Tatum is built for this moment. He didn't have a good game last night, but that's what Jaylen Brown is there for, and he's also built for the moment. I actually want to touch on Jaylen for a minute.
Yeah, and I
feel like he won that game.
Yeah, I want to touch on some things too. I mean, you say he won the game, but it's also the fact that Al Horford stepped up and made huge shots in the fourth quarter. I forgot the white brother's name.
Derek White.
He made and the other guy that was the role player. He stepped up.
Hit a couple shots.
There you go. Yeah, he stepped up and made some shots. Also, Jason Tatum, not his best game. That's scary. Oh yeah, no, and I'm gonna tell you that's scary because they're gonna have the games. He's gonna be. I think he may hit a 40-point game, maybe more. This game wasn't the game that he did that. Brown stepped up, like my bro said. You know, Brown kind of took that lead and went crazy, which he wasn't doing that well to me either. But the collection of players stepping up in the fourth quarter was phenomenal. And let me tell you one other thing.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is the Speedy Show, and we got to pay a couple bills right now, but we'll be right back. Keep all the receipts. This is the receipt saga, baby. Speedy Show. Forward.
The Boston Celtics the better at playing than at other people's home than their own. They say, okay, well this ain't gonna be the case in the NBA Finals. That's the scary thing. You go ahead and win one at Golden State, you might split the other one. And then you're gonna go in and win maybe 1 or 2 at your home. I mean, for sure. I mean, they're not gonna. They're gonna play well. The stats also
say Golden State. We. I don't know if you guys know. I'm very well aware that Golden State. I don't know the exact number. It's approaching 30, 25, 26, 27, 28 straight playoff series where they have won a road playoff game. Yeah. Golden State will win in Boston. Boston has the win too in Golden State, in my opinion, to even think of winning the championship. And they have to get it done in 6. They can't do it in 7.
And in which they're not far off from winning this next game. I mean, because they didn't have their best game, and I think Golden State had a fairly better game than Boston Celtics. But hey, that fourth quarter, man, I don't know what, the defense, it wore them down. They couldn't make all them shots they was making in the first, second, and third. Brown exploded. What was you gonna say about
Steph?
Brown exploded. I mean,
Brown took the game over. Brown took the game over. Steph cooled off. They made a great adjustment, but I'm gonna argue that the Warriors didn't play their best game.
I like my Boston colors you got in the background, by the way. Shout out to Prophet.
Yeah, shout out to boy Prophet, man. We I don't want to get prisoners of the moment. We tend to take things out of context. I want to put it in context. Boston had already kind of bottled Steph up already. He only scored 13 points after the 21-point explosion from the first. So they had already kind of bottled that up. Where I give the credit to Jaylen Brown is this. During that game, Tatum didn't just play bad. Golden State's scheme forced him to play bad. It wasn't just an off night. They made it a tough night at the office for him. Derek White was the only person that made Boston's offense have any type of flow. Boston's offense looked horrid, like it tends to do. Like it tends to do.
I mean,
Golden State's offense really didn't look great either. Aside from a few Otto Porter catch it and shoot knockdowns that were pretty solid contested shots, Golden State wasn't getting exactly what they wanted. But when you let Steph go for 21, Boston still led it to half. Then the Warriors had that third quarter explosion. Okay, it looked like everything was working. Everything wasn't really working like that. It looked good because shots were falling. Boston tightened up. Jaylen Brown, though, at the beginning of the fourth, took charge, and he became that next player other than Derek White to get that paint touch that Boston needs for their offense to be efficient. They run what we would call like fairly simple offensive scheme. We don't see many plays from them. They run a lot of screen and roll, paint touch, and then kick or attack the paint.
Yeah.
Golden State said, we're cutting the paint off.
Right.
No paint touches.
Yeah.
So Tatum could not get to the paint like he's used to.
And
neither could Brown.
I'm not going to sit here and act like I wasn't disappointed in the Boston Celtics. Even though, they was leading at halftime. The offense just looked a mess. And like I heard one of the analysts, Boston doesn't have no real offensive structure or offensive strategy. They spread you out, they pick and roll, and they play one-on-one ball. They play one-on-one basketball. They expect for Tatum, Brown, Horford get their own shots and make a way and maybe kick it out. But no real offensive structure. I mean, you're taking some long threes with Tatum and Brown.
That's smart.
You better hope
take some long ones.
Yeah, and you better hope you make them, because if you miss them, the Warriors is going to get out there and run and shoot threes on you. And these guys are shooting, I don't know the percentage, but I'm pretty sure the percentage is very good. From three-point, I mean, they got the best three-point shooter, the best shooter of all time on the floor. I mean, two of the best shooters of all time. So, I mean, man, you got to be more sound offensively. I think in the second game, if Boston starts off slow offensively like they did, then they can get ran out too.
Yeah, they're going to be in trouble.
They can get ran out. And let me just tell you, this is the most shocking game since game one, since the 1980 NBA Finals, when Magic scored 42 as a rookie. So the momentum shift, and the third quarter, it was just amazing. I had never seen something like that.
I mean, Horford made the most threes ever for a player in his first Finals game. Yeah. Jason Tatum had the most assists ever for a player in his first Finals game. And Jaylen Brown hopped on a list with, I think it's Jordan and Kobe. Wilt and Kobe. He had 10 points and 5 assists in the fourth quarter. He's the third player in NBA history to do that. Mm-hmm. And I think all those things, and then you combine that with the biggest piece of the pie was the Warriors collectively having a negative 24-point differential in the fourth quarter, the biggest in the Steve Kerr era in any game, regular or postseason.
Yeah.
That is why I feel like Boston fans, just temper your expectation a little bit. Those things. Don't expect Game 2 to be the most shocking game in NBA Game 2 Finals history as well, is all I'm saying. I already predicted Golden State to win Game 1, so I'm 0 for 1. You know what happens. But I did predict alternating wins. And I'm gonna stay on my alternating wins. I think Golden State responds, they answer. Boston looks good, though. I thought they were going to have heavy legs. They look really good. That defense is clamped. It's locked down. Yeah. Derek White, Al Horford, those two guys are, if they outplay Jordan Poole and whoever Golden State's second role player, it varies from game to game. Sometimes it's Porter, sometimes it's Iggy. Yeah. It might be Gary Payton. It might be Kuminga.
Yeah.
But if White and Horford outplay them, Golden State's going to have some problems because, like Draymond said at the press conference, Smart, Horford, and White shot 15 for 23 from 3. I don't want to say don't expect that to continue, but if that does, I mean, how do you beat that?
Yeah.
Hey, I'd like to thank you all for watching the Speedy Show right now. And this show is completely brought to you by you, the people who support me. So I'd like to thank you all right now. And for all of you who would like to show support, please send any donations to hashtag Speedy Show. That's $, Speedy Show. I appreciate all you guys. Much love. big things coming in the future. FAN TV. I like to give a little shout out to the whole team, all the contributors to the Speedy Show. And we not stopping, baby. We gonna keep going forward. How do you beat that? Just like Jordan Poole, he's got to score more than 7.
Yeah.
Clay's got to score more than he had 13
he has to.
At one point in the fourth.
That's not acceptable.
He might have got another 3. I think Clay might have finished with 16. But
Tatum, most assists in a debut.
At least he did
Horford,
something.
most threes in a debut. Steph, most threes in first quarter. You know, for first team up 10 to lose by 10. I mean,
that's a lot of records in one game.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, in this around this time soon, I'm gonna be giving you some I told you juice. I told you something. Got Boston. I told you, I feel it right where this Nike symbol is. It's all up in here. Boston Celtics. They're gonna win this. You know.
I think it looks good. I think Boston winning this game, it guaranteed that it's either going to be Boston in 6 or Warriors in 7. I kind of don't see. Obviously, if there's a possibility for Warriors in 7, it's a possibility for Boston in 7 because you can never predict game 7.
You can't take this to 7 with the Golden State Warriors.
I think so. That wouldn't be a good idea.
Well, no, it wouldn't be a good idea. And I can't. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take that back. You can say because Boston. They've been stepping up in big games. I mean, every big game that they've had,
series have went to 7.
You know, they've been winning these 7-game series. So I can't say that. But I wanted to go. I don't want it to go to 7 with the Warriors because I know, you know, these guys have been here before, and if they go to 7, they might have some. They might snap and go into some mode that I agree. That they're not supposed to be in.
I think they definitely will snap because the last game 7 that they were in was the 3-1 blown finals. And that's the only game 7 in the finals they've ever been in.
Right.
So I could imagine a horrid the motivation from them. Yeah. And by the way, Draymond had a 30-point triple-double in that game. And he hasn't scored in double figures in the playoffs since that game. So that's not what he does. Like that's just to let you know how possessed the Warriors will be if you have to play them in Game 7. I think Boston.
I believe that Game 7 will be in.
It's in San Francisco. Golden State has the home court.
I don't care what you've been doing, playing great at other teams' home at Game 7. You can't let it go to Game 7.
You can't.
They're gonna. I got them go ahead. My predictions go ahead and go and win this next game. Possibly lose 2 at their home, being that they haven't been the greatest there. But I wouldn't be surprised if they get them in 5. But I'm not gonna say they're gonna get them in 5. They're gonna get them in 6 because Golden State is Golden State. But Boston is spectacular, man. Boston is that team.
Boston's resume this playoff says if they win both in San Francisco, they're going to lose both in Boston.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
I'm not. If Miami pushed Boston to 7, I'm not buying that the Warriors can't win 1 or 2 games in Boston, no matter the result of Game 2.
Right.
If Boston's strength is that they're a road playoff team, well, that doesn't add up well for them to me because with the Golden State pedigree of winning a road playoff game, and the fact that Boston has lost a home playoff game in every series except the Brooklyn series, which they swept them. That doesn't add up well for any lead that Boston has. And I would just like to remind everybody, we were damn near putting a ring on Chris Paul's finger. After Phoenix was up 2-0 last season. And
I was one of them.
And Milwaukee gave him a double gentleman sweep.
Yeah, and I was one of them. I mean, I thought the Phoenix Suns was destined to win it last year, for sure. And then I thought they was destined to win it this year. They lost to my Dallas Mavericks. I mean, and then I said, hey, if my team can beat the Phoenix Suns, well, I'm predicting to win the NBA championship, then Dallas Mavericks going to win the championship. Okay, well, it obviously didn't happen. We lost to the Golden State Warriors. They're shooting out the roof. They got so many shooters. But this Boston Celtics team, right, man, this Boston Celtics team is the truth. I've seen, even though we lost 4-1, the Mavericks lost 4-1 to Golden State Warriors, I watched all the games, of course. It was times where we could have won more than one game, and I know that sounds silly to even say that, but we could have won, and we was too close.
You guys blew a game.
Yeah, so it's like
blew a game.
So like if we can get that close, like we can kind of try to touch them with limited players. Like we didn't have a lot of depth of the player, and Boston, their guys really play as a team. Their defense team defense is phenomenal. It's phenomenal, man. So, but we're gonna see. I mean, we got some cases on it.
Yeah, I think we're in for a long series.
I want to get some more cases on it, but it's like this guy is like holding out on me, maybe because he's saying they're gonna do it. I said, hey, put some more cases up.
They tough when they up, y'all.
No, but when it was 0-0, I wanted more cases.
Well,
but he just won't give me no more cases. I mean, I can't get none with him, man. He's smart. That's why this dude right here, you gotta pay attention to. You gotta watch your eye. Watch this dude. He's smart. He ain't gonna put no more cases up if he know.
I got Golden State winning this one. I'm gonna stand on business. I said alternating games. It's gonna be alternating games at least till Game 5 right now.
Yeah.
I was shocked that Boston winning one, but like I said, split both ways. Yeah. We can. I'm not. This is the finals. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm gonna hit any analyst, or I don't care if they on ESPN or anybody that says that, they're lying. You're never gonna get everything right, and the finals are the hardest things
to predict.
This is some of the hardest basketball to guess.
Yeah.
And like I said, we had arguably like the most unpredictable, shocking game since the 1980s. Ages ago.
Yeah. I 100% agree. I mean, I think that anything can happen, and the finals is the time where it's like, okay, it can be a player that you hadn't seen come up and do something. This is the highest stage. This is the big stage. That's what it's all about right here. Right. But
all the chips are on the line.
But yeah, all the chips are on the line. I tell you, hey, Golden State's been there and done that, so I give you that. They can very well pull away with this. They got because of their experience and what they've been through. But I just feel like Boston Celtics, they're so much more hungrier.
They looked hungry in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, and then they had a lobster, they had a burger, they had some curly fries, they had a shake on the side, they had a whole bunch of other snacks.
Yeah, and Golden State was just thirsty.
Yeah, they had a little bit of water and Gatorade, and they said, okay, I'm quenched. But it's like Boston Celtics, to me, it's more of a gut. They had that on one of the analyst shows. Your gut feeling is important. And my gut is like, man, you need to get on them cases. You need to get as many cases as you can. Because this is really going to happen.
Not Warrior supporters. It's not over.
Yeah.
Dubs in 7, yo. Just relax. It's going to be a stressful, long series for both teams. It's going deep. Yeah. It's going deep.
Yeah. I'm ready for this, and I think the last game was amazing to me. It was fun. It was really fun.
I hope we get 5 to 6 more games of that quality. Yeah. I definitely say that.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And I think we will. I mean,
no question. It may be one game or one game where a team gets a big blowout win, but
honestly, I don't think
it'll be any.
What was the final score of the game?
120-108, I believe. Okay. So 106. It was kind of a blowout, but anybody that watched the actual game knows it wasn't a blowout.
Right. So you got to say the last 7 or 8 points ain't really.
Well, they closed on a 22 run.
Okay. So
yeah. So that was it right there.
Yeah, and it's like, I think all these games will be close for the majority of the game. Now, whether a team slips away and goes on a run, and then hey, the game, I think they'll all be close. But we will see.
Yeah, we definitely will. Hey man, I'd like to thank you guys for checking out the Speedy Show. This is episode 2. We are gonna go ahead and end this segment, man. show some support. Please like and subscribe. Much love to everybody out there. And before we do end this, I just want to ask J-Star, go ahead and give them just like a quick Game 2 preview. Tell them who you think gonna win, maybe some point predictions, or maybe just something that you think might happen.
So Game 2, I feel like Boston is going to have to be a lot better on offense. Their offense is going to have to be a lot more sound and more efficient. They're going to have to, Marcus Smart, they got to play a little bit more better defense on Curry, because Curry can't get out and get those open threes.
No way.
You can't have those.
I don't think that'll happen. No,
hopefully not, because
I think they're done with
the
that.
Warriors are very close to slipping away with this Game 1. Let's not forget this. But my prediction, Game 2, Boston Celtics win by 10 points. We said, I heard analysts say if the game goes above 100, Golden State's going to win. Oh, well, what happened last game? Okay, so Boston Celtics
that was a silly take, by the way.
Yeah, and by one of the great analysts too. But hey, Boston's a great team. Boston going to get the win by 10 points. Tatum's going to have 20. Brown's going to have 20. Smart's going to have 15. And a great defensive game. And Horford's going to have 15 or better.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Warriors. I'm going to try to give y'all my point prediction. I'm going to go with 114-111. I'm taking a Golden State victory. I do have Boston to cover this one. I made the mistake of the Game 1 to tell y'all. I should have told y'all take them points, take that cover. I'm going to try my luck with it this time. With how sometimes bets work, the Warriors may win by 5. But I have Warriors 114-111. I'm going to highlight my star player as, let's go with Wiggins, 20 points, 3 threes. And let's go with Jordan Poole, 15 points, 4 threes. Yeah, and that's we're going to wrap up this segment of part 2. Going to come back over the next day, next 2, getting ready for this Sunday game, and we'll have more analysis. We'll break down some more stuff and give you guys more previews. We may touch on a few other topics, get into some NFL offseason, and whatever else, was hot. I'm going to holler at GOAT, hit him up and see what his baseball bets is for this weekend so y'all can hit. And definitely check out that Jaylen Brown over 24.5 for the series average. The numbers was 115 before the series. That was one of GOAT's best bets. He scored 24 last night. He's on pace to be right there. So, check it out. You could always place bets after the first game or 2. Sometimes I like to do that in a playoff series so you can gauge the games and how it goes. But just a little extra nugget for y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Speedy Show.
All right, y'all.